This is the Report Writer General Overview tutorial, and it covers how to use the Report Writer. The Report Writer will help you standardize and automate the process of creating written business valuation reports from your own Excel spreadsheets and Word documents. Let's review the sample report to see how all of this works. We'll click on the Business Valuation Report Writer sample. The Report tab will open, and the report will appear in the tab. This sample report was created by using the template that comes with ValuSource Pro in a ValuSource Pro analysis file. Let's take a quick look at the report. You'll notice there's a number of fields in the report that start and end with blue chevrons. For example, Child's Clothing Store starts and ends with the blue chevron. That means this field comes from the workbook under the Workbooks tab. There are hundreds of fields in this report, and they all come from files under the Workbooks tab. You can have one or more Excel files under the Workbooks tab. In this case, the file under the Workbooks tab is a ValuSource Pro 4 analysis file. There are three kinds of data that can come into the report from a workbook. The first is a cell, like Children's Clothing Store. The second type of data that can come into the report is a range. You can bring in any range from a workbook into the report. The last type of data that can come from a workbook into the written report is a chart. Any chart created in Excel can be brought into your written report. The goal with the Report Writer is to allow you to take your existing reports and hot link them to your Excel workbooks. In other words, all the references to tables, numbers, and charts can be hot linked so that whenever they change in Excel, they'll automatically change in your written report. For more sophisticated users, you can use optional content in a report template to create text that changes depending on the fact pattern of your specific engagement. We encourage you to watch the optional content video for more details. There's a navigator pane that you can open to show you the tools to navigate through the report. This tool allows you to find commands and edit them. You can search for commands and you can edit commands using this navigator tool. Let's review the menus in the Report Writer. Under the Report menu, there's a New. You can create a new report or a new template. Watch the Creating Templates video for more details on that. You can open a report or a template. You can close the existing file. You can select Save, Save As. You can do Page Setup, which just brings up Word's page setup. Or you can print the document. There's also a Most Recently Used list that shows you the files you've most recently had open. Under the Edit menu, you can edit directly in Word, which will give you a standalone version of Word with the report in it, without all the Report Writer menus. The Paste Link in a Report option is only enabled if you've been to the Workbooks tab and copied an element to paste into your report, in other words, a cell, range, or chart. Update Commands updates all the commands in your document. It goes to the files under the Workbooks tab and brings in all the tables, numbers, and charts. Previous command goes to the previous command in your document. Next command goes to the next command. Go to Link Data takes you to the Workbooks tab and shows you where that cell is linked. If the cursor is inside a command, Delete Current command will delete the command. Insert File command is only available in templates. Insert Optional Content will allow you to insert optional content into the report. This menu item is only available if the template the report was based on contains optional content. Under the View command, you can turn commands on or off. In other words, if you turn commands off, you'll notice all the blue chevrons disappear. You'll want to do this before you print. Also, if there's helper text in the document, in other words, all the yellow areas that say helper text, you can turn those on and off. You can put the helper text in your own documents. You can turn the navigator on and off by selecting View Navigator. Under the Tools menu, you have Options, which lets you select the program options. Preview Optional Content is only available if you're editing a template. Remove All Helper Text will actually take the helper text out of the document. Once you do this, you can no longer retrieve it. Manage Workbooks allows you to manage all the workbooks associated with the report. You can have one or more Excel files that you link to from the written report, and this dialog will allow you to manage those workbooks. Under the Help menu, you can view the help file. You can also check for web updates. You can also go to online technical support. You can also select the About box to see what version of the program you're running. Let's take a look at the toolbar buttons. The first toolbar button is Create a New Report. The second one is Open an Existing Report. The third one is Save a Report, Print, Edit Directly in Word. This is Paste, but remember, you can't paste a link until you've copied one from the Workbooks tab. This is Update Commands, Previous Command, Next Command, and Go to Link Data. The Workbooks tab contains all the Excel files that you're linking to in your report. If you have more than one Excel file, you can access it from the drop-down box at the top. You'll notice all the schedules are available on the left-hand side navigator. There's also a library available. Watch the library tutorial for more details on how to use the library. Now let's see how to hook up your own report to your own Excel files. Let's open an existing report. Let's assume your report is called Report 1. In other words, this is a report that you already have that you want to link to an Excel document. It's a Word document with lots of text in it, and it may have specific references to an Excel document. So the way you build links from an existing report into your Excel documents is you first go to the Workbooks tab and open those Excel documents that you want to link to your report. So select Workbooks, Open, and then open the Excel file that you want to link to your report. You can open as many Excel files as you want, and they'll all appear at the top drop-down box. Now that your Excel file is opened, you can create links to your Word document. Let's see how this works. For example, if you wanted to put a value from your Excel file at this position in the document, select the Workbooks tab, select the Excel file, sheet, and cell or range that you want to input, and select the Copy Link button on the Workbooks tab. Go back to the Report tab and select Paste Link. You'll notice the data shows up with little blue chevrons around it. That's how you know it's linked. And that's the magic of the report writer. Whenever that data in Excel changes, the data in the report will automatically change as well. And remember, you can bring in ranges as well. If you highlight a range and select Copy Link and go back to the report and select Paste, you can either paste the range or you can paste it as a word table. Pasting it as a range pastes it as a picture. Pasting it as a word table actually creates a word table out of the range. This gives you more control over the formatting of the table. Although this is a simple example, we think you get the idea. You can bring in any Word document and create links to as many Excel files as you want. And then when the data in those Excel files change, the cells, ranges, and charts inside your Word document will automatically be updated. But that can be a lot of work putting all those links in. So what we encourage you to do is create report templates. In other words, create a template that you're going to use again and again. Let's see how this works. Once you have a report with all of the links in it, you can save it as a template. So let's go ahead and save this report as a template and see how we can create other reports based on it. We're going to call this my new report template ... Now we've created a template and we can create reports from it. Let's see how this works. Once you have a template created, it's easy to create a report from that template. Select Start a New Report and select New Report. You'll notice that your template appears in the New Report dialog. Select the template that you want to create a report from. And remember, you can create as many templates as you want. Now you can save the report. We'll call it Report 3. And now a Manage Workbook List dialog will appear. This is telling you that when you created the template was hooked to an Excel file. It's asking if you want to use that Excel file to populate the data in the report. If you do, just select OK. But you can always select Replace to select another Excel file. For example, if you create valuation files in Excel and save them as different names, you could replace this Excel file with the one that's appropriate for this engagement. And then when you select OK, all the data will be updated based on that file. And here's our report. You'll notice all the data that was in the template is now populated. If you would have selected a different Excel file with different data, that data would be in this report. We think you get the idea here. If you create a template that's linked to an Excel file, every time you want to create a new report, you can generate a report from that template, and all the links are already in place. So you no longer have to link the data back to your Excel file manually. Although this template only has links and no optional content, we could have added optional content as well. The optional content would allow you to turn some text on and off depending on the fact pattern of the specific engagement. In other words, optional content text gets linked to specific cells in the Excel file. If the cell is true, the text comes in. If the cell is false, it doesn't. This way you can even more further automate the process of creating written valuation reports. This is the end of the Report Writer Overview tutorial.